weather.com. It is Thursday, the 7th of May, 2026. Waking up to some clouds, still some rain in the state, specifically around the southern portion of the state, close to the panhandle of Florida, and North Alabama, a little bit of rain, but all of that is moving into Georgia now. And hopefully we will dry out and maybe see some sunshine this afternoon, a high of about 71. So a little bit on the cool side. Some clouds around Friday, high of 73. Partly sunny Saturday, 78's the high. And then Mother's Day, looks like some more rain in the forecast, a 60% chance of rain and a daytime high of about 80 degrees. So maybe find something indoor to do with Sweet Mom for Mother's Day due to the rain chances. Like no outdoor barbecuing, maybe. Unless you got a covered patio, you could do it that way.
Go for it. Enjoy.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Get out the pizza oven. Mom loves pizza. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Nothing better than a homemade pizza.
Yeah, boy.
Don't do it on the Blackstone, though.
I
see one more of those reels. I'm like, come on.
I see people doing it. If you've got a good cover and you can, kind of create your own little oven, I get that. I could see how that would work.
It just, the heat that you get in the pizza oven is
vastly superior.
The best way to go.
It domes out and it covers everything, and it does a great job, no question. 7:07 with Dixon and Vining, and Mr. Bugs wants you to know that those bugs that are working their way into your home because they don't like being wet, they don't have to be a problem. You just need to call 941-6252. That's the local number for Mr. Bugs, 941-6252. They are statewide, but locally, they can come out and they can kill the bugs on the inside, lay down the barrier on the outside, do the termite bonding, do the mosquito reduction, take care of your small rodents. I mean, everything that you're hoping for a pest control company to do, Mr. Bugs does. And they do it well, extremely well. They bundle everything together. They charge you one low price. I was a guy who was going once a month. I just hate bugs so much. I'm like, I need you here once a month, every month. They're like, you could do once every 3 months, Richard. They would save you money. And they talked me into it, and eventually turned out they were right. I can do it once every 3 months. Mr. Bugs, MRBUGGS.com, 941-6252. They are my pest control company, and I swear by them. Looks like the D.C. police could, possibly, might be held accountable for cooking the books on crime data.
Somebody needs to.
Yeah.
They haven't been telling the truth for a while.
Well, we were treated to a whole lot of, before the National Guard was sent in and before they partnered with the federal government, we were treated to a whole lot of, we don't need this, D.C.'s fine. And anybody who'd been there, even for a long weekend, could tell you, D.C. is not fine.
No.
The carjacking stats were crazy, and this was with them cooking the books, What was happening was you had a police chief, no longer there, by the way, you had a police chief who was urging members of her staff to, maybe turn that felony into a misdemeanor. How about we downgrade that a little bit? How about we just say caught in possession of a firearm? In possession of a firearm and someone else's car that he took when he pointed the firearm at them, that's a carjacking.
Yeah.
Well, let's not go there.
Here's the thing. Those stats maybe help you as a police department not look like things look so bad so that you maybe don't have to do your job quite as much. But where the heck is the sense for the citizens that live in Washington, D.C.? Every time you lower these stats in that way, yes, it looks like crime, like you're doing your job. Wouldn't it be easier, Richard, just to do your job properly?
Would. Yes, it would.
And then you could bring those stats down? This is insanity what they were doing. It really was.
Well, and you're running across this in all kinds of liberal cities. You just had the mayor of Seattle. I don't know if you've seen her. I call her Witchy Poo. She's not a pretty woman. Bless her little heart. I mean, she is not a pretty woman. Maybe that's why she's got such ugly policies. I don't know. But she doesn't want cameras set up in high crime areas to actually be able to catch criminals. And there's a reason for that. It's because the criminals tend to all be of one particular hue. And she's concerned about that and doesn't want, well, we don't want to look racist here. You're like, well, you're not racist. You're picking up criminals. It doesn't matter what color they are. They're doing bad things to law-abiding citizens. And this was the same problem in Washington, D.C., because, you had Muriel Bowser, the mayor of Washington, D.C., you have the D.C. City Council, you have the chief of police. This is a 90% black precinct slash a political committee here making decisions and saying, well, it's unfair. We've got a preponderance of black people that we're picking up for committing crimes, and we've got far too many black people in our jails. Well, here's the way you solve that problem. Tell them to stop committing crimes. You're not picking them up because of the color of their skin. You're picking them up because they're committing crimes. And once you get that and by the way, there's fewer of them in jail now. You know why? Because there are fewer crimes. Murder rate is down over 40%. Carjacking is down 60%.
Donald Trump said it can be done, and he went in there, and it has been done. And I'm glad that they're going after these. There's 13 of them that have been served termination papers.
Well, they're currently on administrative leave. They say no one is going to get fired.
Well,
but
you might get
possibly. And while they're not saying, oh, this is why we're doing it, it's kind of an unspoken, understood secret. These were the ones that were changing the numbers to try to make it look better for the D.C. Police Department, which is really just that's like imagine if you were a teacher and you took the 3 or 4 dumbest kids in class and you said, well, why don't we just take that 68 and turn that 6 upside down? We'll make it a 98 for him. Okay, well, he didn't learn anything. So now you're going to pass him on to the 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade without teaching him anything? You're not doing any favors. By the time he gets to 7th grade, he's dumb as a rock and thinks he's smart. So in Washington, D.C., you got a bunch of citizens that are like, our crime rate is great, except they know it's not because they live there and they're experiencing it. Maybe one of the funniest things that happened when Donald Trump announced that unprecedented move, by the way, when we start talking about Donald Trump and things that he's done, the unprecedented move of blowing drug boats out of the water, the unprecedented move of saying, how about we send the National Guard into some of these cities?
And they're like, oh, no, do that, because they knew that their cover was going to be blown, and that's exactly what's happened.
In Washington, D.C., they didn't have a chance because the president actually makes the decisions for D.C. It is actually a federally held municipality, shall we say. But they did have a choice, for instance, in Chicago, who rejected it. New Orleans welcomed it with open arms. So did Memphis. Both of those mayors were like, we need all the help we can get over here. But in Washington, you had a bunch of Democrat politicians coming out and going, things aren't as bad here as he's making them out to be. That's just not true. And you had a bunch of reporters who lived in D.C., who are actually lefties, who love supporting the Democratic Party, saying,
it's bad here.
I'm sorry, I have to disagree with these guys. I got carjacked the other day. My brother got carjacked 2 weeks ago. My sister was shot dead in front of her apartment complex. They've experienced it. They know.
That's the issue, is that they have experienced it. So many times when you don't, you're like, no, nothing's wrong here. But when it starts affecting you personally, even as a reporter, there's no way to deny this.
Well, we would hear over and over again about these car services that, for instance, would pick somebody up from their Georgetown apartment and drive them 3 blocks to where they had to be. Well, why are you doing that? Because you don't want to walk because you're in Washington, D.C., and you know there's a chance you're going to get mugged or beaten or whatever just on the way between point A and point B.
And Georgetown's one of the nicer areas of D.C.
It is.
That's where cops don't mind going.
And so they have no problem with that, but now they don't mind going anywhere because they have been shown the light, which is a good thing, and they have done an amazing job over there. Speaking of which, by the way, Kash Patel announced the other day that arrests of bad guys in 2025 up 140% over the last year of the Biden administration. In other words, they arrested well over twice as many bad guys in the first year of Trump's term than they did in the last year of Biden's term because the FBI actually started doing their job.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
Crazy concept. And again, cities like Memphis have now benefited from this. Look at the crime stats there. They're coming down. And we need more of this. And there's a lot of other blue cities across this country that could benefit from the same thing. And if you don't start taking care of the crime and doing your job the way that you need to in these cities, and these mayors that are saying, "Oh yeah, let's nothing to see here," maybe we need to get into some more blue cities and do exactly what we did in D.C.
Lowest murder rate in America in 2025. Lowest murder rate in America since they started keeping statistics. Now that
is impressive.
is something to be
Yeah.
impressed by.
Mm-hmm.
ContriBrothers.com, the place to go for mom. When you decide you want some flowers and maybe a gift basket, maybe a bottle of wine for mom, they have all of those things at ContriBrothers.com. Pick and choose. Look, what I like to do, depending on who I'm sending the basket to, and yes, I've sent baskets to guys before too. You're like, what are you doing? Why are you sending things? It's a thank you. It's a nice way to say thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you've done for me or my family or whatever. I just kind of scroll through until I see the thing, whether it be the flowers or the basket, that looks like the person I'm sending it to. And with so many choices, you're probably going to come across 2 or 3 that you think are perfect for mom. And then you have to make the difficult decision of figuring out which one is right. Or send her all 3. Why not? The price is right. ContriBrothers.com. The delivery is fantastic. And the point and click just makes it so incredibly easy. Mother's Day this Sunday. Don't forget, today's a good day to go shopping at ContriBrothers.com.
Bum, bum. Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Dixon and Vining with you this morning. And still some rain in the area. Fog up where we are here in Homewood on top of Red Mountain. It is foggy. Most of the rain is down along the Mobile area, Dothan area, moving over into Georgia, a little bit in North Birmingham, but a lot of that's moving out of here, and hopefully we'll get some clearing, and we'll have a pretty decent-looking Thursday before we start to head into the weekend.
Yeah, man.
So get set for that. Hey, Birmingham Broker, this is just a wonderful place to get your used car sold, your used truck, whatever you've got that you're driving around that you're getting ready to get rid of because you wanted to get into something else. Don't worry with hassling and selling that car yourself. Let these guys at Birmingham Broker handle every aspect of it, from getting the vehicle shined up, dents out, scratches out, get it listed, find the buyer, get it sold, get it out of there, get you a check in hand. That's the beautiful part about it, and you don't have to lift a single finger. The only thing that needs to happen is that vehicle needs to get to Birmingham Broker in downtown Birmingham, 2224 4th Avenue South. The reason is Craig would like to say hello to you, would like to meet you, would like to know what it is you want to do about getting that car sold. He's going to tell you how quickly he can sell it, and he's also going to tell you the price that he believes that he can get for that vehicle. And you know that before they begin to work on selling that vehicle, which is nice. There's no guessing here. You'll know exactly what that number is, and that always makes you feel good. You'll get as much equity out of that car as he can possibly squeeze out of it. That's what it's about. So when you're ready to sell your truck, your SUV, your classic car maybe sitting in the garage that you're finally ready to get rid of, let Craig sell it for you. BehamBroker.com is the website. That's BehamBroker.com.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, President Trump would like to see the war with Iran wrapped up and is hoping to get some cooperation from the Iranian regime to reach a deal. Now we're well under the 48-hour mark. The global markets rallied yesterday. Crude oil fell to under $100 a barrel on the news and expectations. Trump has warned that if negotiations fail, he'll take a big step further, and we kind of know what that will mean. Israel also would like to see the war end, but they fear a weak agreement could allow Tehran to continue with their strategic capabilities that threaten Israel before the war. Now, Israel wants some guarantees that any future deal preserves military leverage and freedom of action if Iran violates this agreement. We don't know exactly what's in the agreement, but again, fingers are crossed that maybe Iran will come to the table and we can get this done and put this war to bed and not have to worry about nukes or their nuclear capability, because that's the concern in the Middle East. I mean, we know they want death to Israel. They've said pretty much the same thing for the U.S., but we're a good distance from Iran, and Israel and some in the Middle East are a lot closer to Iran, and they've been kind of the bully on the playground, and it's time to end this. So let's hope that we can get some of those assurances.
Look, we're asking for a lot of stuff. We haven't really changed what it is we want. They've said no to all of this before, more than once. I don't know why. I guess if it's the blockade that's making the difference. We had to actually fire on a boat, took off its rudder that was trying to break the blockade, and that would pretty much keep you from being able to steer and break
That's
anything at that point.
Yeah.
But a 20-year ban on enrichment. Enriching to only below 4% after that, handing over all your enriched nuclear material. These are the things that we're demanding, and that they've said before, and we need a declaration that you're never going to seek nuclear weapons. Every one of these in the past have been like, no, that's never going to happen. We're not doing that. So I love the fact that the market's excited about the possibility of peace, but I don't know why they think there's a possibility of peace. This is the same stuff that we've been demanding and the same stuff that they've been rejecting all throughout the course of the past 2+ months now. And if we have to start bombing again, so be it. But what my fear is that, we're going to get, Pakistan and some other countries have asked us not to do that, so we're not going to do just, let's finish this thing off.
Yeah, because, again, if under these 48 hours it doesn't happen, it's resolve this peacefully as best we could after bombing 15,000 sites. Did we say, okay, look, we're not going to do these certain things. We're going to hold out until you come to the table, and we're going to end this. I think Donald Trump has given them more than ample time to come to the table, and they're not going to do it.
They're playing a weighted-out game.
Yeah,
and the weighted-out game is based not so much on the 60-day rule or whatever. It's based on the midterms.
Yeah.
They're looking at Donald Trump, and they're going, he's going to lose face in this, and he's going to lose, his party's going to lose the midterms, and that's what we're shooting for in the long run, and then we can declare victory.
Yep.
So I say, start bombing again.
Tonight, and then get out of there.
Tonight would be a good day.
And get out.
Go at it.
Things got very heated down in Montgomery during the special session that the governor called, and more progress was made. The House passed a bill that would allow for a second primary election in some congressional districts if the state's voting maps are changed by the courts. Now, HB 1 would create a process for a special congressional primary election, and the U.S. Supreme Court removes restrictions currently preventing Alabama from using that previously blocked congressional map. Now, this creates a legal mechanism if the state wins its appeal on that ruling before the Supreme Court. So we'll wait on that. Crazy day yesterday. Now, by the way, alarms were going off during the session due to the flooding. Legislators were forced to leave the building. Some cars were flooded. And during all of that, apparently there was a senator that suffered a medical emergency. So a bit of a circus yesterday. And again, the weather just really wreaked havoc on the parking lot outside of where all this was going on. There's plenty of images of that. And again, some vehicles got flooded yesterday, but just crazy.
A circus indeed. Send in the elephants. We already have the clowns. Thank you very much.
We have the clowns. Oh, and finally, there is some celebrating going on in Auburn over a $21 million investment by a Korean automotive electronics supplier. Duck IL USA will expand and establish a clean room operation. They do things like print circuit boards for the automotive industry and will provide several technical and engineering jobs. But that's a nice investment. Congratulations, and glad to see our state continue to succeed down there in Auburn with Duck IL USA.
Hey, look, bravo. The more of that kind of stuff we can get, the more technology we can get in here, the less we're thought of as a stupid state. On the other hand, don't think too much of us because you might come here and not leave. You know how we hate that.
We don't mind you visiting.
No, swing by.
Leave your money here.
Drop off some money. Lots of it if
down
possible.
At the beaches, at our restaurants.
Oh, maybe in Huntsville, wherever.
That'd be nice, Huntsville as well.
Talladega, Barber.
Sure, all of it.
And then, have a good time.
And then, bye-bye.
Get the hell out. You drop some money at the Alabama Men's Clinic. They would like to help you with your testosterone situation. If it's low, they can lend a hand with that. You can test that. Initial consultation, $99. Find out where you stand, and if you're below 600, they'll talk about ways to get it back up where it needs to be. If you're struggling with ED, they'll fix that with you as well. Number of options, once again, on how that can be handled. And then they've got the peptides, they've got the GLP-1s, hair loss, weight loss, you name it. They can work on it. Men is, in fact, their middle name. They are urology-backed medicine, and they're powered by Minspro, so you need to make the call today. 598-7000 if you're just feeling sluggish, if you're just not up to speed. 598-7000 is the telephone number, or visit them online at alabamamensclinic.com. You're going to get an appointment there in 30 seconds or less. alabamamensclinic.com, 598-7000. Help is a phone call away. 7:35, Dixon and Vining Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Moist this morning, but drying out a little bit later today with some pretty decent springtime temps. I think you'll be able to get along without a jacket for the most part. Somebody did text in asking about the weather for the Stallions game on Saturday night. Looks like it starts off nice and then gets down into the 60s by the time the game is lost by the Stallions. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It was a joke. Stop it.
Don't jinx
Stop
them.
it. No.
Don't jinx them.
Hey,
that's
they're
actually
doing
pretty
good.
nice weather for Saturday.
That's not bad.
That'll be comfortable.
You might want to bring a little Jackie with you. I mean,
Maybe.
Yeah. Not a jacket, a person named Jackie. Bring a little Jackie with you.
70s and
Yes.
upper 60s,
Mhm.
maybe
It'll
mid
be okay.
60s. That'll feel great.
Wow, one of NBC's most beloved TV shows of the 1980s is being rebooted on a different network. Fox is looking at reimagining Highway to Heaven.
Really? No,
Okay.
don't.
Really?
Well, it was okay for its time. Do we do it now? I don't know. I guess it might be able to redo
There was a
it.
time
Who's starring? That's the question.
Well, they haven't
Yeah.
come up with that yet. That's the problem. We got to get that. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm David Boreanaz as
Jim Rockford.
Jim Rockford is I'm like, okay, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but
that-
again, why don't we come up with new ideas of our own? Why do we feel the need?
We need
have,
another
you know,
Michael
It's
Landon, though. You got to
Hollywood.
have somebody kind of like a
I
Michael.
don't know.
Don't you?
Where do we get one of those?
I don't know.
Where do
Good
we
luck.
get one
I'm
of
trying to
those?
think who that would be.
I don't have any idea.
Michael Landonish. I don't. I'm drawing a blank.
The 80s was full
Maybe
of those
Cameron.
uplifting
Maybe
shows.
Huh?
Were you really Kirk Cameron? You
Kirk.
thinking?
I'm thinking Kirk Cameron
Maybe.
might fit that role.
You remember Touched by an Angel?
Yes.
I do.
Less popular, Touched by a President. That was a Bill Clinton story.
Stop.
Uh,
Sure.
Made that a miniseries. From what I understand.
Yeah, that is. There's one show be done.
and then there was there was one that starred Robert Blake, as I recall, and I don't remember what it was, but he was like a preacher in a bad section of town, and then he killed his wife, and that was that. Yeah, no,
goodness.
acquitted. Sorry.
You know
Yeah.
who? Tim Tebow.
He's a
Make him-
terrible actor.
Is he?
He's not good.
I hadn't really seen
Yeah.
him in acting.
I bless his heart.
But he's such a good-looking guy, and he might
I mean,
fit
he
that
is.
role.
He is. Don't
Mhm.
get me wrong, but the minute that I realized that Tim Tebow wasn't cut out for announcing was when he was on the SEC network and he was doing a piece, and I was like, all right, he's struggling, but he's getting there. I feel like he might,
He's no Greg McElroy.
And then he threw it to Greg McElroy, and I was like, oh, see,
this
that's
is how it's done.
That's what that's supposed to look like. Tim, learn
Yeah.
from him, will you?
I think Greg is an absolute natural. I've never
yeah.
seen anybody pick
No,
it
me
up
neither.
and just run with it. I'm
And
like,
I-
wait a minute, you just got through playing football, and now you're. I mean, it's
I
amazing.
hate him for it. He should. No one should be
He's
that
not
good right out of the
good.
box.
He's-
Really, he should not have been that good from
I
day
totally
one.
agree. I was just like, how are you doing that?
Took me years and years and years and years and years to get even this good, and he's like better than me on day one. Shut up, go away. I got here the 9 unhealthiest things you can order at Papa John's. If the diet's over and you feel like
Listen,
really
if you-
enjoying yourself,
If you're going to Papa John's to do something healthy,
You're going to the wrong place.
I think you're.
Well,
If you go
barking
to
up the
any
wrong
pizza
tree.
place looking for something healthy,
I don't know.
you've gone to the wrong place.
There's
Right.
salad bars. Hello.
Salad bars.
Salad
Used to
bars.
be.
Papa John's has salad bars.
No, I'm saying that at some pizza places, Steve is just painting them
like
all with
Pizza
a broad
Hut?
brush.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing: if you were to get a small, thin crust pizza with, let's just say, Canadian bacon and pineapple on it, you'd be actually going down a pretty healthy road with pizza. It's not.
Who wants any of
especially
that?
if you don't eat too much of it.
Give me cheese
I do.
and
I
pepperoni.
like all of that.
Sausage.
I'm a fan of all of that
More
stuff.
cheese, more cheese,
Wow.
more cheese.
Okay, well then this list is for you.
Yeah, I
You're
guess
gonna like
so.
this.
Mhm.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
By the way,
yeah.
just to let you know, a single slice of thin crust Hawaiian pizza, between 145 and 260 calories, depending on the size in the restaurant.
That's
Not
not
bad.
bad.
Not bad.
If that's what you like.
Better than
but
a cheeseburger?
I'm not
If you can stop at one.
Yeah. Well, or two, as the case may be. One of the worst things you can eat, the epic stuffed crust. I mean, stuffed crust was bad enough, but then they started to add things to it. Started filling it up with not just gooey mozzarella, but more goodness like pepperoni. And then they started throwing like garlic butter on top of it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course they did.
Of
It's
course.
Papa John's.
That's right. The pepperoni sausage and 6 cheese epic stuffed crust pizza is one of the worst things you can get.
I wonder
it
what one
sounds
one
tasty.
slice is probably like 800 calories.
How about this? 26 grams of fat, 60 milligrams of cholesterol,
Oh.
40 grams of carbs, 1,220 milligrams of sodium.
Wow.
No idea about the caloric content, but
Well, it doesn't
all
matter.
of that alone,
When you said 1,200 milligrams of sodium, you're done. You're going to die from eating that pizza.
I would think so.
But what a way to go.
Stop.
Drink a lot of water. The Italian Meats Trio Bowl. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they had a bowl.
I didn't either. This is at Papa John's?
Yes, this is
Okay.
where it's basically the pizza without the crust.
The crust.
Right.
Okay, all the stuff in
Well,
it.
what fun is that?
Intake. You might think with one of the brand's newer Papa Bowls is a great option. You eliminate the crust and get all the goodness of toppings without the carbs. While this is true to a degree, you can't rely on Papa Bowls as a healthy option across the board. They come in 3 styles: chicken Alfredo, Italian Meats Trio, and Garden Veggie. The Italian Meats Trio Bowl is the unhealthiest, combining pepperoni, sausage, meatballs, peppers, onions, tomatoes, and 3 different types of cheese in a blend of red pizza sauce and Alfredo. The result counts 68 grams of fat, 2,460 milligrams of sodium, well past your daily limit, 185 milligrams of cholesterol. If you're trying to decide between pizza or this bowl, you could do much better with a slice.
Ah,
Hello.
this ought to come with a warning label.
How about the Parmesan crusted Italian papadilla?
It looks good.
It does.
I've heard of those.
doesn't
I've
it?
never had one.
Papa John's acknowledgement that the menu item wasn't actually a riff on a quesadilla, but a new take on a regional Italian folded sandwich.
Oh, wait till you see the grams of sodium in this thing.
Well, it sounds like a calzone. Folded sandwich, calzone? Same
Listen,
rate?
this comes with paddles to restart your heart.
3,010 milligrams of sodium.
Wow. Dang, man.
That should be illegal.
Back
I'm
off-
not. I'm
back
not
off
kidding
just a
about
hair on
that.
the salt.
That should be illegal. That really should come. I mean, imagine somebody that has got to kind of watch their sodium intake.
Yeah.
Did they make the crust out of salt?
If you're watching your
Probably.
sodium intake, you probably ought to read up on these
Probably.
things
But
before
I mean,
you order them.
3,000 milligrams.
Yeah, that's crazy. Chicken Parmesan Papa Bites. These are actually pretty good. I had these, I think, when they first came out a long time ago. I remember getting them and being like, hey, these are actually
These
pretty
look
decent.
like pretzel bites with cheese in them.
But each one of these chicken Parmesan Papa Bites has 280 milligrams of sodium. So if you eat 4 of them, you're once again well over 1,000. Well done. I ate 4 of them.
You had 4.
Well, there you go.
Oh.
That's the meal.
How
Bacon
much water
cheese
did you
stick.
have after that?
None.
Not
Nothing.
enough.
No,
yeah.
I actually just dried up. Each stick comes, these are the bacon cheese sticks, 330 milligrams of sodium. As is the case with most Papa John's app, eating 1 isn't exactly realistic.
True.
Oh, man, they're buffalo wings. I like their wings.
Papa John's with
Yeah.
buffalo wings.
An order of 8 comes with 2,920 milligrams of sodium, well above the American Heart Association's ideal limit of 1,500 grams. You'll also consume 58 grams of fat, including 15 grams of saturated fat, 205 milligrams of cholesterol. Ouch. I like them. They're pretty good. They're crispier than most other wings. Their special garlic sauce. This is the stuff that everybody likes to dip that crust into.
So,
Absolutely.
So good. Oh, my gosh. I'm looking at a case of it. Where can I order this? Because I'd be pouring it on everything.
Laden with sodium and fat, 310 milligrams and 17 grams of fat per serving.
There you go.
Never
why it's
mind.
so good.
I don't need a case of that.
17 grams of fat in there?
Ooh.
How is there
Weren't they-
17 grams of fat in there?
Didn't we have a story within the last couple of weeks that said they were going to start bottling this and putting it in stores?
Uh-huh. I don't need to see this. 'Cause it'll be at my house. I will purchase that.
Well, how about a little dessert? The
Okay.
Oh, sure. Why not?
double chocolate chip brownies.
That ought to set you up.
Mm-hmm. Comparatively, 1 Oreo Papa Bite contains 4 grams of sugar, while a slice of the giant chocolate chip cookie contains 18 grams. 1 double chocolate chip brownie, 23 grams of sugar. You should really have 24 to 36 grams per day. So you basically used up your entire consumption of sugar in that 1 brownie.
But it was
teaspoon of
good,
sugar.
I'm sure.
Mhm.
Yum.
Yikes. Teaspoon of sugar is about 4 grams. So it means eating 1 brownie is equivalent to eating almost 6 teaspoons of sugar. Jeez.
Once again, you're not going to Papa John's or any other pizza place for health.
No,
No, you're
I would
not.
think not. No, if you're doing it wrong. You're doing that wrong. Absolutely.
Just order you some lettuce in a bowl.
Yeah, no dressing.
None of that
No
garlic
croutons.
sauce. No, yeah.
No,
none
you
of
can't
it.
have nothing. You
How about
just
some onions?
lettuce.
Can I have some onions? Maybe
Nope.
some tomatoes?
No, I'm afraid not.
No
Nope,
tomato-
just
uh,
lettuce
Got a
in a
little
bowl.
feta cheese on it.
And it's got to be not even good lettuce. It's going to be like the nasty
Wilted.
lettuce. It's going to be the stuff that looks like it came out of your backyard, you know?
Is there anything worse than that?
I don't know what it is with that. You know, I've eaten salads like that before, and I actually find them tasty. They're just hard to look at. You're like, what did you run through my backyard with a weed whip and threw it in a bowl? What is
bottom
this?
of the bag of lettuce is what I got.
What is this?
Uh-huh.
I don't care for it. 746 with Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Boz.
Skaggs.
Let me some Boz Skaggs. He was in a high school band with Steve Miller, believe it or not. They both went on to bigger and better things. 7:52, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us. 13 hours of live and local programming every weekday. It's us, Dixon and Vining, and West, and Phil Carter in the traffic center. And later we get Emma Kate Cowan, who's going to be giving us the weather. And then we hand things off to Skippy and Boo Boo. What's his name?
John Boy?
Jimbo. That's the guy, yes. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Andrew McLean and The Line. And then, of course, you get Leland Live, followed by that Breaking Bread show, which is awesome. So make sure you're here for all 13 hours every single weekday. We're thrilled to bring it to you. Let's see, a couple of texts that we have received thus far today. If I eat pasta right after eating antipasto, they cancel each other out, says Jeff.
Is that the Jeff joke of the day?
It's pretty close.
And it looks like it.
It's not bad. It's a nice little half Star Trek reference, too. Matter
See
and
what you did
antimatter.
there.
Friend of mine uses that garlic butter and he brushes it on steaks, says Maria.
I need that in my life. I think I'm going to try that the next time there are fillets.
Well, I'm already putting butter and garlic salt or garlic powder on the steak anyway, so this seems like it would be.
But it's
that's
already
not
kind
really
of
butter, you know.
No, it's not.
That's not really butter.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's deliciousness.
It is delicious.
So
Yeah.
I can imagine. Maybe just let it marinate in that for like a day.
Wow,
And then put it on the grill.
You have to open a lot of those little cups to make that happen.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
I
fine.
have to go find one of those jars at the
I can do
store
that.
and just pour it all in there.
Yeah. Could I dip my steak in it? I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, there
Instead
you
of
go.
dipping your pizza in it,
Sure.
dip your steak in that Papa John's garlic butter.
I did use that garlic butter one time on some bread that I made a grilled cheese sandwich out of. And
How did you do this?
It was.
What did you do?
I opened up the little. I had some
Did
laying
you,
around.
You spread it on there like with a.
No, I have a brush. You know.
Brush, yeah.
I used a brush and I brushed it onto the bread, and then I toasted the bread, and then I flipped it over and I put the cheese on there. So I say it was.
So how was
wasn't
it?
really
How
grilled,
was it, Richard?
Salty.
Salty.
Far too salty. I was very unhappy with the result because I was
So
like,
you're telling me Papa John's needs to come up with a lower sodium garlic sauce?
if they can, that would be great. That would be lovely.
They might do. You know how they have the different low sodium soy sauce?
Sure.
You know, the regular and then
the kind I buy.
And now you're telling Papa John's they need to come up with that.
I can't taste the difference. So, yeah. Zach says Jim Caviezel or Lucas Black could star in a new Highway to Heaven
Jim would be good.
if it were to be rebooted.
Yeah.
Jim is older now.
Yeah, but still, he'd be all right.
Okay.
Well, think about how old Michael Landon was when he did the original
Yeah.
Highway to Heaven.
Yeah, but he looked like he was 12.
It was the head. It was that head of hair he had.
He always looked like, a little bit like Little Joe, you know, from back in the old Bonanza days.
Yeah.
The one thing you could count on was if Little Joe dated a girl, she was going to die. It was over for her.
He had that Gino Vanelli
He did.
hair.
Absolutely.
You know, just
Yeah.
almost. It was so big and so thick.
Yeah.
It looked almost like a wig.
Michael Landon was a great guest on The Tonight Show if you ever got to see him. He was one of the funniest guys you'd ever see. He was so laid back and easygoing. I'll never forget. He was talking to Johnny about visiting his uncle in the hospital who was, you know, on his way out. And he said, you know, Uncle Casey, are you comfortable? He said, well, I got a little bit of money.
He's all right.
Good times, good times. Sent from the Aboriginal Valley, do you remember the snack doodads? I do.
Mm-hmm.
I loved them when I was a kid. They took them off the market because they were so bad for us. How does Papa John's get away with this? Look, if they took them off the market because they were so bad for us, they'd have to take a lot of other snacks off the market because they're so bad for us. I think they took doodads off the market because they stopped selling. They were little
It's like
bread
Chex Mix.
sticks.
It
They were-
was,
yeah.
it was like a mix of Chex Mix.
right. They were like little breadsticks. They were I mean,
Bread
they were,
sticks
them,
and
yeah.
the peanuts in there.
they were tasty.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Then Chex Mix came along and blew him out of the water.
That's exactly right.
Pretty much. Papa John's Pan's Pizza is the way to go. Always order the well-done cook option, says Tom.
I didn't know
Okay.
you could do that. All right.
I did enjoy their pan pizza, as I recall. Neil McDonough could be the Highway to Heaven guy. Yeah, he's a real diehard Christian. I love
Yeah, he
Neil.
is. Might not be a bad choice.
Love Neil. He'd be a real good choice, most likely. But who do you get for the little sidekick? Remember, he always had that guy with him
Yeah.
The dude whose eyes didn't quite match up, and I can't remember what his name was. He looked like Jack Elam's younger brother, is what I'm trying to say. But I can't remember his name.
Honestly, don't remember him either.
His character's name was Mark, if I recall correctly.
Victor French.
Was that
Is
his
that what it
name?
is? Mark Gordon.
Mark
Could be,
Gordon.
yeah.
That's who he went
Yeah.
by? Victor French. Okay.
He had the beard and the
Yeah, that was him.
mustache and everything.
That was him.
That's it.
Jeff says, I didn't feel well last night, so I went to the ER. They diagnosed me with peekaboo virus. They sent me to ICU. We already,
Yeah.
we literally had that joke a couple of days ago.
What I
Valerie.
thought. Yeah, it
Yeah.
seemed familiar to me. That's why I didn't give him anything.
Yeah, he gets, and a different Jeff, by the way, not the
It is.
same Jeff.
They're trying to sneak
Yeah.
in here under a different Jeff.
That's right. Who are you trying to kid?
Who do you think
Different
you
Jeff.
are? Jeff.
You're not fooling anyone.
No.
Different Jeff. Why, you ought to. Here's an interesting piece of work. This just goes to show how messed up Minnesota is. I'm so glad I'm out of there. Saeed Awil Ibrahim was one of the guys who was on the inside of the $11 million Medicaid fraud scam that is being right now prosecuted by Keith Ellison, the Attorney General for the state of Minnesota. And he cut a no-jail plea deal. He gets 5 years probation after pleading guilty in the largest Medicaid fraud case ever in that state. And he did so with the promise that he was going to help find his fugitive co-defendant, the real mastermind of the thing,
Yeah.
whom a judge granted bond to despite warnings from law enforcement that he may flee the country. Now, think about this. You steal $11 million. They catch you. They put you in jail.
Yes.
You go in front of a judge. The judge says, I think I'll grant you bail. We'll let you free on, I don't know, $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million. You have $11 million. So you pay and then you leave.
You're gone.
You just go.
Yeah.
What if these are the idiot judges that you're dealing in the DFL state, Democrat Farmer Labor State.
But he
that
said
is Minnesota.
he wouldn't leave.
Oh, he promised
Richard, he told the judge.
Yeah, no, he said, I'm
I'll
not
be
going
right
to.
here.
I promise you. I promise you have no, he granted him bond at $150,000.
That's a drop in the bucket. You got $11 million.
$11 million.
So is our fugitive's name now nickname is OJ?
I don't know what his name is. I mean, he's a real piece of work here, man.
He's something, all right.
He steals all this money, and then they give him $150,000 bail, despite the law enforcement going, Your Honor, this guy's got 11 mil somewhere. He's going to leave. He's going to leave. Nah, it'll be fine. Don't worry. Who's wearing the robe here? You or me? I'll take care.
Well, maybe you ought to not be wearing that robe based on that decision.
I tend to agree with the thought process that if a bartender overserves somebody, they go out and they get into an accident, hurt somebody, kill somebody, whatever, that bartender can be held liable. Now, if a judge lets somebody free and they run off with your $11 million, that guy ought to be held liable. That judge should be held liable for what they did. You say, well, we do have a way that we can impeach him. It's so long and complicated.
It'll take forever.
There should definitely be some overarching person who's able to look and go, no, I'm sorry, you don't get
This
to
one
be a
was
judge
easy,
anymore.
and you shouldn't have let him out.
No, this was a layup.